All right, folks, we just got done with all the weed whacking, grass whacking, whatever you want to call it in Thailand. We call it a weed whacker back home. I guess over here it's called a bushwhacker, which also makes sense. That totally makes sense. But I kind of wanted to take you on a little tour of all the fairways that we just cleared out and really kind of made more of a defining line between fairway and rough. So I thought I'd make a real quick video and show you and give you a little virtual tour. Let's check it out. So over here is the usual parking space. You got Chiangbang Island right there, last hole, walking path up to the first hole here. Bam! Look at that. So perfect. All right, so what I did with this one is actually I changed some things up. This is our normal tee pad heading straight down over to the water bins back there. But as you can see, I've moved the basket to over there. Okay, and why did I do that? Well, because I might move hole one. This right here is the old tee pad, and what I did is just shave away another spot over here. God, it looks great. Jesus. I'm definitely going to be renting the equipment from now on because it's just a guaranteed way to get a dope whacker. The one I rented was just high powered. All right, here we go. Lots of fairway space. All the problem trees are cut down. This was a spot a lot of people were getting stuck in right here. And then we got the hole. We already did a lot of this cutting a couple days ago, so we just kind of extended it out. Beautiful. All right, walking away from hole one, we got hole two. Nice shaved path to the tee pad. Widen it up a little bit too. A lot more space to hang out and people to put down their bags and not worry about wet grass. All right, let's go. So this one, I decided to actually shave in or incorporate an alternate tee pad. It's much shorter, but it's got a pretty low ceiling, easily approachable with a mid-range or a putter. But as you can see, we've got a nice defined line. Got rid of all of the really tall stuff that most people get stuck in. Whatever's not cut is still pretty easily seen when you're landing in it. But don't land in it. How about that? All right, over here is where I'm thinking of putting the alternate tee pad. Clear out or rake out a little space here. And you can see how it's a nice little mid-range shot right up there. Can't really see the basket too well. It's right there. But look at all that awesome open fairway. Finding your disc so much faster now. Obviously I couldn't cut away all of the rough, you know. I've been waiting for this opportunity for a while, even though it took a lot of hard work 3 days worth of man labor. Look at that. Gorgeous. All of the problem areas gone. We got a nice open area. This is typically where most people end up, is on this side of the road. So watch out. Well, it looks like I forgot a T-pad, but that's only because this place is already pretty much cleared out. There's no real need, you know, except for maybe to expose the rocks. But I did cut a nice little walk path through the really rough of it, so at least we've got a nice clear path up there. All right, let's take a walk. All right. Now this is where we kind of fudged a little. Had to prioritize, my hired help had to prioritize his time. So this is all still pretty rough, but it's not exactly that bad. Like, it's still pretty easily seen wherever your disc goes, except for maybe a couple key areas, like right here. And that's a stump, even though it looks like a tall area. This is actually a pretty annoying piece of wood a lot of people end up by. But I figured I'd keep that annoying, so they try not to be there. But look at all that. Nice big open cut. Almost all of this is cut in the middle in here. Big open fairway in the middle. Might be able to get some skips now and stuff. Everything's already dying away, which is great. Didn't bother clearing any of it, you know. Just not enough helping hands, and like I said, wanted to prioritize what my hired help guy could do. All right, here we go. From hole 3, nice clear shaven path to the next tee pad. This one took a while. And there we go. Look at that. So pretty. Just ate lunch. Man, this place is gonna look dope when we get the metal baskets in here. Definitely capable of rolling now. Bobab. Nice big open ring here. Walking from hole 5, basically shaved out a nice little walk path to get back up onto the road. Got to the road, shaved out the tee pad. This was one that I forgot, so I'm glad I got to it this time around. Really all I did with this one is just shave a walk path to the main road here. Well, they use it as a road, but we're using it as a fairway. I didn't bother shaving any of that right side down. Figured most people have been doing pretty decent at finding their discs or avoiding that particular spot. But maybe one more day might not be a bad idea. Who knows? I don't know. I've done a lot of cutting. So whatever Whatever makes it so I don't have to cut anymore, I'm happy. Plus, it's just so pretty. So, nobody go in the field. Cut it out. Big 400-footer. Maybe I should have at least cut the circle. I still got the cutter. I can run it again. I got work to do. I gotta go home. Alright, yeah, this isn't that bad. We can deal with this for a little bit longer. So I'm out here doing a video tour of the golf course, and we just got a new addition. A cow just gave birth to a new baby. Look at that little guy right there. Look at that little guy. Yeah. This is the guy right here that takes care of the cows and the lands out here. He's a great guy. Helped me out, as a matter of fact, with the very beginning of Chiangbang. I'm going to get a close-up of the baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. No. You're okay. That's the mama. Just trying to take a breather, it looks like. Look at the baby. Oh my God, little baby. Might try and take his first steps real fast here. Already got cleaned up, so. Hey mama, you doing okay? Oh, what a cutie. All right, so this is hole 6. Way the freak down there. You might even have a landmark where you see that little hump. The tee pad's right around there somewhere. 800-footer. Big old launcher over here, but no way we're gonna try and shave down the whole fairway. This is a bit treacherous, unfortunately. I just barely saw this, but we got a lot done today. I don't want to bother with that. This is actually a mando tree that you have to be on the left of. And we cleared all of this out. You can see the defined line leading up to where the other mando tree is around there. This guy is also a mando, having to go in there. So the idea is that basically you've got 3 rows of tunnels heading towards the basket. So you get kind of bottlenecked with this one. It's an 800-footer, triple mando, staggered. You know, they're not all together. But we cleared all of this space. That used to be a mando. It's not really anymore. It's not necessary. But got all cleared out right here. And this is something I actually did all by myself over here. So we got little poofs of trees. That's pretty much signature throughout the whole thing. Just got a little, keep some of the grass around the tree base. And then I opened this up hugely. This being the mando, now with the defined line of rough. Easy to tell people where that's at now. And we've got a lot more fairway and bare ground to work with out here. This being the other mando you have to be to the left of. So as you can see, it bottlenecks you into kind of a triple row here where you can get to the basket. So the idea being this is best position to be in right in front of one of these tunnels. So sweet. Look at that, just pretty. This is about the best view right here. So we're walking away from hole 7. Clearly defined path to the next tee pad. Plenty of room over here to congregate. And here we got, I think, basically this whole back section right here is my favorite section with all the cut now. Very, very pretty, very intricate, very detailed. Oh, and then we're about to come up on mama cow who just gave birth. Chiangbang just had a baby. Let's walk up. It's amazing how fast this stuff grows. out in here. This was all bare ground when we got to it, so. Look at this. Big old open space over here. That's a normal tree people hit accidentally. That's also a normal tree people hit accidentally. And then a lot of people accidentally also hyzer over here a lot off the right hand. So I've opened up a lot of that fairway over there in the hopes that people can find their disc a lot easier. We've got our groundskeeper slash cow keeper over here tending to mama. Oh, the baby got up. The baby got up. Just gave birth like literally a half hour ago. Look at you. Oh, little mama cow. Got a nice little family here watching the cows. Oh, little buddies. You are skinny. Taking his first steps. Look at the umbilical cord. Damn, it just happened. Mom's got a growth. Oh, she's trying to eat. Oh, little buddies. All right, let's leave National Geographic out of it. Yeah, buddies. All right, so we didn't really go to town over here. We kind of left some things up because it's all still real easy to find the discs. Nothing really gets buried. You can see it pretty readily as long as you're paying attention where you're going. But look at all this, just huge fairway rocking around, treehouse basket, nice open areas, paths leading everywhere, looking pretty. So next up, from the treehouse hole, we're walking to hole 8, which is the par 4. This is the beastie hole. Got a nice defined path leading up to the tee pad, which is tucked away over here in the tree line. And then this one took a lot of work because it's a long hole. It's about a 600-foot par 4. Tunnel, 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 and more tunnel. Very, very hard to birdie. I've done it only maybe twice. It has to be like perfect shots. All right, let's walk. So this one I'm quite proud of because I did a lot of the detailing over here. This was an early day. I got here at like 6 a.m. Played around, saw what I wanted to do again, you know, just got reminded of where I wanted the cuts, and then did all of this. This was me. We cut cleared paths before, but just a quick, you know, path maker, and then I widened it out and cut around the trees, created a defining line, left little patches here and there to be annoying. And I was gonna even do just the circles and clear this away, but I figured a strip is fine, you know, like we should keep one of them, but there's multiple ways. You've got the clear tunnel directly to, and then you come over here where you've got even more options. Very pretty, very pretty. I kind of want to play now that I'm just walking around looking at all this. As you can see, we've got no real cuts over here. This does tend to be an area that people get to, but, you know, can't cut everything. I was tired, and so was Dude Bro. Law, man, he was a beast on the whacker for sure. All right, so we got all of that cleared out. We've even got a third little tiny juncture right at the last, say, 100 feet of the tunnel on the right. And then we've got the tunnel. And then over here is a constant problem area. You know, I didn't want to cut it all away again. This is usually where most people end up, but that should get rid of a lot of looking around time. People playing Where's Waldo with their disc. Beastie par 4. Nice open. God. All of this was treacherous. Treacherous. Nice big open circle by the time you get out here. Most people don't usually have an issue with overthrowing this basket. I do see it happening now that we've got it all cut. But nice big open ring behind it. If anybody remembers the humble beginnings of Chiangbang, that's where the original basket was. Still could put it there technically. Going back. All right, if you can see it, that's hole 8 right behind the little tree there. Let it focus. There we go. Now we're already over here to hole 9. This one is a pretty fun one. I think a lot of people enjoy this, except for the double Mandos. That tree right there, that tree right there. Got to make it in between there, all the way down to the basket where you can see it right there. Let's walk. Now, if you miss the Mandos, which everybody has, I keep hitting them all the damn time. This is the drop point. You're right in between the two trees, shooting on the open tunnel. No Mandos in the way. Let's get rid of this hanging branch. Done. All right. Now, once we're in here, we didn't stress too much except for just making sure that you could find your disc. So stuff like this where you can still see the ground, no big deal. We were working on a time crunch, like I keep saying. But this is an all-air attempt anyway, you know, unless you really want to go for like a roller or something, which is still pretty well doable. I could probably make that distance. Got a ramp right here. And then we kept some roughage just to kind of still make things a little difficult. This one's only about 220 feet. So didn't want to make it too easy. Walking from hole 9. We are now over at 10. Still have yet to really give this one a name. Might just call it the Ant Hill, because the basket is on top of an anthill. As you can see, it's right behind that tree, and it's obviously raised a little bit. That right there is just where I perched it on top of an old anthill, an inactive one. Still some ants crawling around, but not a big deal. Let's walk it. As you can see, there's no real need for a defined path on this one. You're looking at ground pretty much the whole time. It does get a little rough once we get up here, but nothing that makes it so you can't find your disc. Maybe a couple key areas, like right there. This might be a bad spot for some people, but most people end up on this side, so not a big deal. As you can see, we clear cutted a lot of this, but goddamn, this stuff grows fast, like I said. So we just kind of made it so people can find their disc a little bit more quickly. Probably could still use some touch-up areas, maybe over here. Not a big deal though. And then you got the basket. Sitting on top of an anthill. This is a tough one for a lot of people because you go short and the tree's in the way. You go too long and you end up too long, like too long. So you can see the base of the anthill hole right there. We are now on hole 11. This one I didn't stress too much on also because the path is basically already there. None of that is lose disc type situation. However, if you happen to grip lock and barely goes anywhere, this is not a good place to be in. All right, let's walk this one. What we did do with this one is basically at the end here, we cleared out a big chunk of the area that does hide your disc quite well. This spot over here, not an incredible amount of people end up over here, but it's not that bad, even if you do. We are probably gonna have to get to this at some point, but it's not too bad. As long as you walk over here, you can see the ground, it's totally fine. And then you get to the area where you see we did the cutting, right, meow. And this wasn't really anything pretty. We just cut away all the really tall stuff. This was almost, I don't know, 2 feet tall right here. And then we got the basket area, which we cleared out basically the whole circle here. Again, no real defined line on this one because nothing, it was all kind of spontaneous really. So nothing really I could have done to really try and like make it pretty. So we got still a rough looking hole, but it looks great. This is one of the original Chiangbang holes, so I'm glad to see it's still kicking. And we are on hole 12, the only hole with a T-pad, a concrete T-pad. As a matter of fact, it's got 2. There's an alternate pad for this one. It's also a concrete pad, which is really cool if we ever want to play it. This guy right here, we even got a gazebo. Industrial strength gazebo. I'm thinking of even hanging a hammock here, as a matter of fact. It would be actually pretty cool. All right, so we got the stones. They keep taking away my bamboo. I don't know why, so I kind of gave up putting it out there. Shooting out to Chiangbang Island. Now the way I got this one set up is right around the front there. We've got kind of a moat where I've lined some bamboo and other various sticks and poles and stuff to kind of create the border. Everything between here and there is all fairway, but once in between there and the actual concrete foundation that the basket sits on, you're in a water area. So there's a lot of OB with this one, but I made the wall so most people really would like to go for it, really try and hit up an ace run. Let's walk this out. As you can see, this one's a shorty. Another reason that I kind of was hoping most people would just try and go for the ace. I do it all the damn time. This may look rough again, but we're only about, say, 6 inches deep. Some areas a little deeper, but this is real easy to find your disc area, especially since you're only about, say, 50 feet away from the T-pad. So as long as you're paying attention to your stuff, everything should be findable out here. And then you come up on the wooden border of the moat. Yeah, I'll probably still come back out here and give this a little whacking. It's getting a little overgrown, but you can still see it. Got a nice line going from tree to tree. Everything inside here is all make-believe water. And then sometimes there's real water. You do not want to end up in there. Oh, another trash day is needed. That's all right. This hole took a lot of work. Getting all this bamboo rotting up there and rocking and staying up and all that. Luckily, all this rebar is still there for all whatever they were trying to build here in the first place. We can also build a bathroom if we wanted. But this is one of my favorites. I probably should have at least, you know, shaved down over there, maybe a little in back. But there you go. Walking tour of Chiangbang. Once again, I really want to put out a big thank you to all the people that helped out with trying to get this done. I don't think I don't want to weed whack ever again. Even though I know I will, because Lana Rocks is next. But Lana Rocks DG is going to be a lot easier because now with Law, who came out here and helped me, he is now kind of trained in the ways of fairway making in disc golf, you know, trying to see what we can do to create defined lines between rough and fairway, OB and fairway, you know, and then have fun with like making shapes, making little big old squiggle lines and all that stuff, you know. It's just kind of, it's almost like coloring book, only you're coloring outside the lines, you're creating your own lines. So thank you very much. I forgot to say the thank you. Dan Walker for lending me law. Colin Filleter, I really hope I'm saying your name right, for helping to fund law, basically. He got paid probably more than he usually does, as a matter of fact, so that was a big help. And I was really hoping that whoever we got hired, you know, like I knew Dan had the manpower, which is already something that I asked him that I could have access to. And the main reason for that is to train them on the maintenance area of disc golf when it comes to lawn or rocks, as well as, you know, maybe the little fun you can have, you know, by creating like cool shapes, have, you know, pretty fairways, leaving some things open, leaving some things growing. Kind of makes it so you don't have to do as much work, you know, trying to clear the whole land, but you do spend a little extra time kind of making it pretty. But he'll be already trained. He's already ready for me to go up there and start knocking out some stuff. So I'm kind of antsy on that. I'll probably take a week to heal here because my shoulder is destroyed from hanging on to the weed whacker for hours on end. And then I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all. So we have a beautiful Chiangbang, folks. Everybody come out here and play as often as you possibly can while it's still short. Hopefully I won't have to do this again for a while. God, I really want to play. Now that I just checked it all out and it looks so pretty, but I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. We got Ray and his son Joshua coming out here, maybe with another friend. Early morning rounds, so they'll, unless somebody plays later on today, they'll be the first ones to play it. All right, so here we go. Chiangbang.